femmes.
Savez-vous comment est mort Kinsey? Il paraît qu'il est mort d'une crise cardiaque. En réalité, il s'infligeait à lui-même, des sévices abominables. Et on a retrouvé à sa mort qu'il s'était arraché les testicules. C'est pas bien comme exemple pour remodeler la morale d'un pays. Qui a financé le rapport Kinsey? L'Institut Rockefeller, qui existe encore, qui continue de financer. Une enquête a été faite auprès de la fondation Rockefeller, à peu près à l'époque où Kinsey a sorti son rapport, et des enquêteurs ont appris que le but de la fondation, dans l'enquête sur Kinsey, était d'extirper de l'Amérique toute sa moralité et son idéologie chrétienne. C'est-à-dire que le rapport Kinsey a été financé pour briser la morale et la famille américaine. Et nous en sommes maintenant. La famille américaine est loin derrière. C'est maintenant la famille en France, en Europe et dans le monde entier. C'est-à-dire qu'il s'agit d'un plan de destruction de la morale publique par l'intermédiaire d'une pseudo-révolution sexuelle. Pour tout casser, tout briser, le but ne peut être qu'un but de domination.
In the 1950s, a congressional committee was formed under Congressman B. Carroll Reese to investigate the influence of the large tax-exempt foundations, including Rockefeller.
There was a huge concern at the time in the 1950s that the foundations were now being run by people with a strikingly strident libertarian or liberal agenda, which resisted and resented the Judeo-Christian way of life.
The late Norman Dodd was the director of research for the Reese Committee. In an interview recorded shortly before his death, Dodd stated that part of what the committee had learned was that the objective of the great foundations was to remove America from the values on which she was built and to do so through the education system.
What we had uncovered was the determination of these large endowed foundations, this Carnegie Endowment story and the Ford Foundation and the Guggenheim and the Rockefeller Foundation, all working in harmony toward the control of education in the United States.
Dodd's testimony becomes an important issue when considering the direct impact of Kinsey's research on sex education in America. While the Reese Committee investigated many programs funded by the foundations, when it came to Kinsey's research, they were vehemently opposed by the late Congressman Wayne Hayes.
That's established quite well in Renee Wormser's book on foundations, their power and influence, a book that no American who wants to understand what happened to our country should be without.
Renee Wormser was the lawyer for the Reese Committee. In his book, Wormser writes that the committee had dug up some significant material about foundation support of the Kinsey projects. This brought Mr. Hayes into a steaming rage, he says, and he asked to see our entire Kinsey file. It was produced for him, and he angrily declared to Mr. Dodd that we were to go no further with this particular investigation, contending that every member of Congress would be against our doing so. Mr. Hayes stated emphatically to Mr. Dodd that he would oppose any further appropriation to our committee unless the Kinsey investigation were dropped.
Savez-vous comment s'appelle l'Institut Kinsey? Le vrai nom de l'Institut Kinsey, c'est Institut pour l'étude du sexe, du genre et de la reproduction. C'est-à-dire que le genre, l'étude de genre, fait partie de ce que promet l'Institut Kinsey, grand criminel devant l'Éternel. En 2007, Aaron Rousseau, qui était un homme de cinéma, atteint d'un cancer, a donné une longue interview à... Comment s'appelle-t-il, Alex Jones. Et il a dit avoir été ami avec un certain Nick Rockefeller. Alors, je ne connais pas l'affiliation, les rapports familiaux entre ce Nick Rockefeller et la fondation du même nom. Enfin, vraisemblable que ce très riche monsieur faisait partie de cette bande. Et Aaron Rousseau a dit devant caméra, et il faut retrouver ce passage, que son ami Rockefeller lui a dit que dans les années 60, c'est-à-dire une dizaine d'années après la sortie du rapport Kinsey, c'était eux qui avaient inventé la révolution sexuelle, l'idée étant, en mettant les femmes au travail, de les couper de leurs enfants, de telle sorte qu'on puisse récupérer les enfants.
Well, one of the things they told me was that he was at the house one night, and we were talking, and he started laughing. He said, "Aaron, what do you think women's liberation was about?" And I said, I had pretty conventional thinking about it at that point. I said, I think it's about women having the right to work, getting equal pay with men, just like they won the right to vote, you know? And he started to laugh. He said, "You're an idiot." And I said, "Why am I an idiot?" He said, "Let me tell you what that was about. We, the Rockefellers, funded that. We funded Women's Lib, you know? And we're the ones who got all over the newspapers and television, the Rockefeller Foundation." He says, "And you want to know why?" He said, "There were two primary reasons. And they were, one reason was we couldn't tax half the population before Women's Lib. And the second reason was, now we get the kids in school at an early age. We can indoctrinate the kids how to think, which breaks up their family. The kids start looking at the state as the family, as the school, as the officials, as their family, not as the parents teaching them." And so those are the two primary reasons for Women's Lib, which I thought up to that point was a noble thing. You know, when I saw their intentions behind it, where they were coming from, when they created it, the thought of it, I saw the evil behind what I thought was a noble adventure.
Alors l'Institut Kinsey, qui est un institut de recherche sur le sexe, le genre et la reproduction, je crois que tout le monde a compris le rapport qu'on peut faire avec ce qui se passe aujourd'hui. Toute la morale sexuelle qui accourt aujourd'hui est la conséquence d'un rapport truqué, financé par la banque, destiné à détruire la civilisation chrétienne, institut dirigé par des pédophiles. 60 ans de mensonges, de chute, de perte des repères et des valeurs. Ce qu'il a fallu de souffrance et d'angoisse pour comprendre comment nous en sommes ici aujourd'hui. Comprendre quoi? Que chez l'humain, le sexe est sacré et non pas une activité de loisir. Le sexe est sacré et lié à l'amour. Nos enfants sont notre avenir. Les pervers veulent nous les voler. Alors maintenant qu'on fait, on fait quoi?